I received my trace from Shaper Tools a few days ago, and I'm finally getting a chance to play with it. If you're not familiar with this, it's an accessory for the Shaper Origin, which is basically a handheld CNC router. But since you clicked on this video, you probably already know that. Trace allows you to automatically convert a picture or drawing into a cutting path for the Origin router. So you could easily carve your signature into a custom piece of furniture or trace the outlines of tools for cutting some Kaizen foam for a toolbox. I'm going to try to use it for making an offset base for my trim router. Full disclosure, a buddy of mine sent me a picture of one he made after getting his trace. Thanks, Mark. But truthfully, this is my out-of-the-box first try at using this thing. I start by tracing part of the trim router's original base plate, just enough to catch the tangent lines from what will be the offset handle. Then I do the same thing for the handle end. So far, I'm doing this with light pencil lines, so once I've drawn the final outline, I'll be able to erase whatever I don't want. And finally, the screw holes. Whoops, almost forgot to locate the screw hole for the offset handle. Now I scan the QR code on the back of the Trace frame, and that takes me to the Trace app on Shaper's website. Once I'm logged in and have the app activated, Trace prompts me to take the picture and lets me know when I have the frame in proper view. The genius in this is that there's no need to worry about the angle the picture is taken from. The magic is in the dots. Trace uses those dots around the frame to orient itself in 2D space, just like the Origin router uses Shaper tape to do the same thing. Whatever's in the frame will automatically be corrected to its proper orientation and scale. After taking the picture, the Trace app processes it and presents you with the scan. I expected my scan to look better than this, since I thought I had pretty clean black lines on a sheet of white paper. Maybe it would have scanned better if I shot the photo from less of an angle, or maybe better lighting, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do as far as corrections in the app. My first option is whether I want outlines for this or center lines. As I zoom in here, you can see that the outline setting gives me double lines, one on either side of my drawn lines. I think that would be more for an engraving type cut. It took me a minute to figure out that the center line setting is what I needed to have my drawing generate single lines to use for simple profile cutting. Even after I did, the parts of the scan that weren't as clean still gave me some problems. I played around with some of the other settings for a while and finally ended up with a clean set of vectors to use. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Even after watching this through several times while editing, I have no idea how I got there. For now, though, I'm going to run with it. Save the file in my Shaper account and good to go. Now I can boot up Origin, go to my Shaper account files to load the Makita offset base file, and set the cut path onto my workpiece, a scrap of 1/2" MDF. And finally, do some cutting. So while my on-screen helper finishes this little project, I'm going to let you in on the ending. This offset base plate came out perfectly. Most importantly is that the mounting holes to the router base were dead on. I ended up drilling all of the holes out a bit on my drill press, but I knew ahead of time that that would be the more accurate way to do it than trying to guess how much offset there was from the trace line. So what are my initial thoughts on the Shaper Trace? Well, I've already heard other users on the forums complain about the frame being made out of plastic, so I wasn't surprised by that. I don't know what kind of plastic it is, but the quality feels okay, and I think it's going to be fairly durable. I imagine if it was aluminum and got badly tweaked somehow, it might be a problem getting it true enough again to maintain its accuracy, because right now it really does seem accurate. Bottom line is, I'm okay with the plastic frame. What I am less than thrilled with at this point is the fact that Shaper has gone with a web-based app. Granted, I didn't exactly take any time to try to learn it, but I found it to be super laggy, not responding well at all to on-screen finger gestures. I was working only about 15 feet away from my Wi-Fi booster, but I know my internet here definitely suffers from mood swings. My cell reception is even worse, so that's not a good option. I already know that I'm going to have days here that I'm really frustrated about not being able to connect to this app. If this was a tool that I needed to use every day, it would be a non-starter. For now, I'm going to hope that I can schedule my need around good internet days. That said, next good internet day, I'm going to try to learn a little more about the app and be ready for the next project. That's a lie. I'll probably wing it next time too. If you made it this far, thank you. I want you to know that I really do appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel on your way out. Cheers!